Hello guys, and welcome back to Strategic Command World War II World at War with our first ever PvP here against SirTravis. It is May 9th, 1941, and we've taken care of, I think, finally, all of Germany. We've had this turn up for like an episode and then like 2/3 of an episode. We've done a little bit as Italy, and we haven't really touched Japan nearly at all. Italy will be pretty easy to get through. One of the first things I'm going to do here with the maritime bombers is upgrade them so they can only get long-range aircraft, but it's better than nothing. This is our defense for Valletta. Just a nice maritime bomber to go pew-pew, bomb on anything that comes around here. Basing some ships out of there as well. We do need to reinforce this destroyer, and I guess I'll go ahead and do that. We have 120 MPs remaining. He has pulled back here, which is so interesting. Don't know why he did that, because now he just doesn't have any of his entrenchment, but I'm grateful to him for doing that, because I was going to, as you'll know if you watch the earlier episodes, I was always planning on moving forward and attacking him right about now anyway. However, our advance is going to be quite limited, as we can see, just due to the zone of control he has with this army and the tanks. Movement wise, moving here probably is not helped by the fact that there's a sandstorm here. It's funny, he messaged me. He said, he was like, ha, good luck, I saw a sandstorm. I found that funny. Although it's just gonna slow down my movement. And I don't know, it's such a weird taunt when you've just ran away from an assault that you started. And I killed one of your units already that you had zero supply with. And this one has zero supply too. I wonder if he's gonna get this one away. It has mobility by the looks of it. So he might. He doesn't have any supply to operate out here at this point, though. That's why I have this garrison here to begin with. We need to get it upgraded. So we're going to put some money into there, because it's what's going to sit on Siwa Oasis and defend it at some point. Because I'm only going to push down here. I'm really debating, like, do I push at all? He's probably just pulled back into a defensive fixture. Entrenchment or not, if he's placed it well, which I've seen in China, he's learned how to try to place things well, at least from watching my PvE videos. Italy doesn't have the air prowess. They don't have, like anything to be able to easily break through something like that. And they certainly don't have enough MPPs to outdo the UK when it comes to trying to just overwhelm them in this like pitched battle where forces are equal. We're getting more upgrades. The UK is probably getting it at this point too. He did make a note at one point like, oh hey, you have level 2, don't you? And he's been doing some research very recently as well. Still spending on diplomacy, probably primarily on Ireland is what I imagine. What else has he been doing? China, no research or diplomacy anytime recently. Probably tons, yeah, just constant on units. India has been doing some research. Barely any diplo. USSR is in now. Woo, oh my god, look how much I destroyed. Almost about 2,300 MPPs worth of units on that first turn. Most of it popped in for free, mind you, but collected income is high. Higher than what Germany gets, I think. Or roughly in that ballpark anyway. Yeah, Italy, the problem we have though is they're not strong enough to blitz through a well-fortified defense here. And realistically, that's not what they did in history, right? In real life, the UK attacked and they got to Tobruk, and then Rommel showed up and started pushing back. I don't know how far they got, maybe this far? I don't actually know. But they had Rommel there for that. We don't have Rommel. So I'm not too sure about pushing up against someone that out MPPs me. I think he needs to come to me, is the reality of things. And we need to get enough supply here to be able to reinforce properly. So this army is going to move forward. 5th Army. Form a literal wall. Right there. These HQs are in interesting positions. Certainly. Supply would spread pretty well down the road, but that was a plan for another time. We'll upgrade the AE core here. We'll reinforce my medium bombers. We'll reinforce my 1st squadron fighters. We have all these other cores and things ready to kind of move around and do stuff. There is no point leaving some of these things here. This corps can just move north. It can't be intercepted from anywhere here. This is all impassable. I'm so tempted to just put an HQ down here anyway. I really am. Because I don't really know how best to do this. The thing is, though, he's never going to be able to push me from over there. So I'm not, like, entirely worried about it. The setup that we have now is effective enough. I think we just need to change one thing here. Is that I think we need to swap this, like so. And then we still don't have enough supply. I tell you what then, swap that back, leave those as is, move you up. I wish I could project this before moving. There you go. This is how we spread the supply well enough to support this whole front line. So this core can reinforce these. This is reinforced by cores down here. You have to just stay on Tobruk, meaning the rest of these things just have to go fucking anywhere else. And I don't know where anywhere else really is at this point. But the armies on the front line are good enough. Kind of wish I had a backup army here due to the limitations of supplying over there. You're going to stay over there. So you kind of run in here if need be. You're just going to move up right here. You're going to move down there because the tank's going to be better out here where supply... Sounds strange. Where supply is worse because it's more mobile, right? The mobility is going to help down here rather than just raw power. Because none of us are sacrificing our armies out here by Siwa Oasis. Certainly. So, we have entrenchment here already. It's a field, though. We have entrenchment on this hill. We're getting entrenchment. We have like 1 out of 3. We have 0 out of 2 here. We just moved here. We're going to entrench and see if he comes back out again. Because I think just by next turn, this will be at 2 out of 3. This will be at still 2. And this will be at 1 out of 2. So he has to come to us. I don't have any arty or anything to really be too defensive. I just have some fighters and bombers to back me up. If he just tries to bomb me, he's never going to make any progress. Taking that much MPPs away from Italy won't really matter. If I hold Libya... Well, that's good. That's fine. I don't think I'll be able to push through to Alexandria if he's really, really intent on defending right here. We don't have the support to pull that off. We would need to get stuff like heavy artillery, of which we can only get 1, but it may be worth saving up for. But I don't even, like, it would only be able to go right here. There's not enough room. If we push forward, then we're talking like maybe right here. So we're just completely pressed up against each other. And there wouldn't really be room for anti-air. So maybe I save up for that. Maybe I just save up for more research. There's a lot of options there. Right now, 66 MPPs is not enough to do anything with. Certainly getting things like infantry warfare, that would be very handy. Certainly. And continuously upgrading infantry and other things like that. Getting anti-air, a lot of these things would be helpful. Just as helpful, maybe, as getting artillery. That 1 artillery could be really important. So I am tempted to save up for it because I think we have a very World War I style front developing down here in North Africa. He's poured more resources into Africa in general, like, than I did. He's operated bombers out here. He's more set for it. He's being slowed down here, but eventually all these units will find their way up north as well. So rather than relying on Italy to go blitz Alexandria and take it, I think we just need to rely on it to hold its ground and make him keep a fuck ton of units down here and make him try to take Libya. If they can hold Libya, which I believe they can in the long run here, then that's more than Italy did in real life, way more. One thing worth noting is this may eventually become a front that has 2 sides. If he does Operation Torch, which is not going to happen anytime soon, but if he does do it, then we're looking at a situation where Italy's units here might be spread left and right. So they need to be strong, they need to be capable. America is going to be way ahead of them by that point. UK probably as well, but we'll see. He has the option to focus everything here and then overwhelm us, just keep us here forever. He could, or he could split his resources. Regardless of what he does, I'm happy with this. We could leave taking Alexandria up to the Germans, taking Cairo, things like that. We do need to take that to win, but I am not going to try to make him do the early surrender. No, nothing like that. So the Germans simply succeeding in the USSR, that's the first most important thing. Eventually we'd get down here with Germans. Maybe something amphibious could be pulled off here. I don't really know. Maybe if we can hold Libya indefinitely, then when Germany finishes up in the USSR, assuming we win up there, you know, we'll have too much German stuff to know what to do with it. We could dedicate a force to coming down here, like a late Rommel, or some sort of amphibious invasion, whatever it takes to get Cairo. But that is not something I think would be insanely difficult. Because how is he going to reinforce this? What units are here are what's probably staying here. with the exception of air being operated. And we just killed one such unit. He may make some slip-ups and would kill some more. We can reinforce this easily. He cannot, not unless he takes a lot of the Mediterranean stuff. And for right now, Italy is poised to defend this. So I think we're going to shift into a more defensive front, thanks to his own offensive front that he took. We already got Iraq to rebel, so we've dealt some pretty good damage just by moving up one hex out of our territory in general. And again, he hasn't reclaimed the oil. He's not even trying. He's just rushing Baghdad. Now, looking at Japan, we can really take the wind out of his sails in a couple of areas. Really maybe kind of piss him off a little bit. Wow, we could do damage to the Jap turncoat army. You know, he told me to look at some cavalry, by the way. And I think he means these ones. But I can't see them. They're not in range. I should remember to tell him that. It's like the one thing he told me to do. Regardless, we could piss him off here. Almost certainly. Now, air is out of the question up here by Kuei Chao. He's got everything perfectly guarded by anti-air. Well, it's in the question, but I don't think it's worth it. And there's a reason for that. Number one, we could probably just kill the Changsha Defense Force Corps 2. Jesus, that name. Without utilizing air. So, attriting him in other areas sounds better. Namely, these two corps right here. I told you I plan to go on the offensive here, right? Well, it turns out this corps is enough to just this NRG corps, just bam, 0-4. That's amazing. From a corps? That's awesome. And then look at this one. 0-6 still. This army is just amazing. It's insane. The bombers supporting these would be good. And we have the arty in place. Now, I want to make it so that we can hurt this corps, not this army. That sounds weird, but it's out in the open. Oh, this isn't a marsh. That's why we can hurt it. Yeah, it has -1 defense bonus to artillery. So, yeah, marshes are a double-edged sword in some ways. They'll protect you a lot from armor, because it's a marsh. And maybe even from units. Normal gunfire, because it's hard for them to move. But, arty, how are you going to move out from it? So, that's weak to that. But I do want to unsettle this core first and foremost, so that we could get a better ratio here, so we don't lose anything with this third army. Let's go ahead and do some arty. 1 out of 2 entrenchment. We got 1 to 6 odds. Let's do it again. 1 to 7 odds. He has no entrenchment anymore. At this point, all I could really accomplish is a readiness and morale hit. It's like we're just gonna take damage no matter what. Our medium bombers are in range of that, actually. So you know what? Let's go ahead and blam. And this is where our fighters from the carrier will actually come in handy for once. Escorts from the carrier. Dealt 1 damage to his fighters, no damage received on my fighters or my bombers. And now I'm looking at Iceland. Okay. And we have dealt 1 damage, and now, there you go, 0 and 7. That's what I wanted to see. Now, we can still take damage. This is just what the prediction is. There's some variability to it. Of course, there always is. So let's attack the third army. We dealt 7, and we still managed to take 1. Which I'm just really fucking not surprised about at this point, of course. I will go ahead and just mop it up with this core then. We have wiped out an entire core, taking no damage with this one, which is good. The army's going to need to recover. Not going to move up. We're not pushing forward yet. We don't have that kind of unit surplus to do something like that. We'll spend the other arty shell, because I think it's all 3 back every turn. I think so. We'll just hit this punishment. Don't put your fucking units in a marsh next to artillery. It's bad. It's not smart. 1 damage to an army is a decent amount. Not as much as, say, losing an entire core, but I think it's actually... I think it might be worth like 1/10 of an entire core. No, that wouldn't make sense. Mathematically, that would not make sense, but still. Now, we've already moved this tackle bomber, so we can't do anything else with it this turn. This one can still do something, and I think I'm going to send it to attack this right here. No damage dealt, no damage taken. The fighters already did stuff. The Wu Gorge Farmer Corps. Okay. So we did probably a little readiness and morale damage there. Nothing extensive. Let's go ahead and attack. Dealing 7 damage. Losing none. So we outperformed with that roll. I want to imagine it's due to the help of that. Kind of underperforming with the roll on this army. This one keeps getting pretty lucky, I feel. So that's nice. And so he's down to 3. He'll have to reinforce this. He just lost this. There's no way we could fully wipe this out. We don't really have the availability to. I mean, if we move this core here, it might be possible, but we don't have anything else immediately present to take its place. We're kind of busy with what other resources we have up here. Ooh, there's a chance to deal a little bit of damage there. 2 damage, lose none, but that's a chance. It's not a guarantee, it's a chance. Next on the list is going to be the Changsha Defense Core here. We can do some damage, and we're going to have to take this shot, dealing the 5 promised damage and losing nothing. Just as we hoped, just as we'd expect. Now, oh, we have some capability to move up there, but I don't quite know that that is worth it. And I'm kind of afraid to move any of these. Rather, let's probably swap this guy in. He has the best shot, you know, with 2 elite reinforcements on him. 4 potential damage. Ooh, that's not enough. But the anti-air would stop me from providing air support, so we'll do that 4 damage. We took no damage. He's down to 1 here. That's not very good for him. We have 3 MPPs. We gotta look at starting to spend it now. Not quite sure about moving in on here. This is just another core. Wouldn't be too bad to move that up there. But yeah, I don't know. The supply stretching is going to get a little weird at that point, unless we can move something else forward. If we swap, we might see something good here. This one's already been upgraded. Let's swap this. We can still upgrade if need be. Does that help supply? It does, but not enough. It does, but not enough. We'll reinforce this because we were always going to do that. 14 spent. Japanese research is available. We want to put another point into research. I think it's pretty obvious what we get. Some more indie tech. Get that researching while we have a good opportunity to be heavily invested into research, since we are going to be delaying America's entrance into the war quite considerably historically this time. Let's go ahead and research. That's 150 MPPs. That's like half of our MPPs right out of the gate. That's fine. Nothing else here is anything I'm using. I'm not using anti-tank. I'm not using advanced tanks. I'm not using armored. You know, nothing armored. Heavy tanks, light tanks, tanks. Yeah, no. Mechanized, not using that. And heavy bombers, nope, not using that. So, that's good. 169 MPPs remaining. Okay, so our pushing here is slowing down a little bit. We'll still push, so more garrisons may be required. I don't think we're pumping any out. We're just getting so many special forces, though. We're getting a ton. As planned, we have 2 cores here. Oh, fuck. This one can't swap like that. Well, that's fine. That's funny, man. So we swap this one out. Give it... Ooh, you might be able to get mobility. Eventually, we'll want every army, man. Cores, not so much. But every army with mobility. This might be a good chance to get it for you. Not quite sure how to handle this right here. If you can't shift out this way, you're gonna have to kind of like shift in a line. So it might be what I do here. We just swap you like that. Just get ready to put that core there next, and we're freeing up these armies to go around here as planned. Kind of open up another front. We can still upgrade this one, though. 169. Is there anything that I deem absolutely necessary to spend money on? It's May 9th. It's not 1942 yet. We have no risk of America joining the war before 1942. 1942 is, I think, where I really need to get and be ready. There's certain things I would love to have. Like these maritime bombers. Arrive by November. Got to keep that production delay in mind. We still have plenty of time, though, for that kind of stuff. So we could still focus on what we already have, rather than building new things. Except maybe garrisons. That might be something we want more of. Everything else is just so expensive. So yeah, let's just go with this. Let's give you the works. Every army's gonna want mobility eventually. It's so expensive for Japan. Every army's gonna want mobility. Give that mobility. Okay. Oh, right. And while this one can't move anymore, this one still can. So we can swap you out of there right now. We just can't upgrade you yet. So all the cores are in position. That's good. All the cores are in position. We'll have these 2 armies moving down here to reinforce this one. And then Wuhan, you know, this could make 2, 4, depending how you look at it. Ideally, having another one available would be nice. You have no idea how tempted I am to take this army and just like move it over here and then just overwhelm Pao Tao with it. I'm pretty fucking tempted to do that. I won't, but I am tempted. But I won't. So let's see here. I'm not sure how to actually defend this the most effectively. Blocking movement up this way, right here, kind of like drawing, is probably ideal. Even if this is not that great of a place to defend from. That can be done from a couple locations. But you also have to block movement coming in this way. And this is why this is an army and not a core. But we are going to put a core there. God fucking damn it, game! Can you stop saving? Every 5 minutes that I don't fucking save. Sometimes I just speak for 5 minutes. Oh, I want to smack whatever developer's idea that was. Okay. That's fine. That's fine, I say. Well, alright. So, let's see. That can just move there pretty easily. We're kind of blocked in our path otherwise. A lot of things in the way. So, here's what we'll do. We'll just move you down here normally. He'll be very confused by this. Put this core up here. Ha! You claim that. That's funny. It means that rail line's technically cut. We have a lot of supply here, which is good. The rest of you guys play kind of defensively. 94 MPPs remaining. Since he didn't attack Japan with Russia, I'm really starting to believe that he just doesn't know these units are here. If he doesn't know these units are here, I wonder if he knows about the elite units over here that spawned in. I don't think he's thinking to check over here, which is funny because he must spend time right here, right next to it. I can't imagine he's leaving all this stuff here intentionally at this point. But there is always the chance, you know. So we want to be ready for that still, I'm pretty sure. We'll throw another garrison onto the list here. You don't need to purchase it with anything. Just another normal garrison. And then... well, some garrisons are going to be upgraded still. This is technically a border garrison, and so long as he has those units there, there is a threat. So we're going to upgrade that. This is also technically a border garrison. Upgrade that. It's funny, he's going to watch this back. It's like, I can't believe you spent like 100 MPPs to defend this. I had no idea I had units there. It's smart to be safe. Because with only garrisons here, he could take a town, destroy a garrison or two, try to make some progress in that region. Because we don't have a very strong defense there. And I don't feel like moving a strong defense there while we're having so much good times already over here in China. Let's see what luck the Peking Defender Corps can have being a little aggressive. We dealt 1 damage and we took no damage. Okay, it's better than nothing. Cheng Chao Worker Corps has to pay a little bit. We'll swap in the North Chinese Front Army, which is way down here in the south now. And oh look, even with a blitz attack, we could potentially deal some damage. Let's see what it can do. 3 damage dealt, none taken. Okay, alright. So our rolls are worse in the north and better in the south. I feel like that's been a theme. And that theme's still going. I don't have the fucking supply to move forward here. I don't have the money to do any upgrades here, but both of these could benefit from some level of upgrades. Oh wow, look at this. Ooh, I didn't even notice that. That would be a stretch, but I think it's worth it. Let's move up. Holy shit, is that what Japanese with mobility looks like? That's hot. Let's attack right there. I'm sorry, why are you defending? I'm not attacking someone next to you. Is it just because I'm next to someone you border? That's kind of fucking wacky. But we just killed that core, and we can now see the mine. We can't advance up to the mine. He's just got an arty on Chungking. He's defending Chungking with an arty. That doesn't sound particularly smart. This will not be in the best of supply this upcoming turn, but it's not that bad. It doesn't have, it's not like an elite unit, it just has mobility. Wow, mobility is really helpful. Okay, fuck yeah, dude. Mobility, totally worth it. But everything else that I paid for up here, also totally worth it. I'm just trying to like min-max my damage and just kind of meet my projected goals by the time that I feel that I need them done. I'll move the tactical fighter up a spot. It's gonna have a little bit more supply than where it was before. We still need to pay to swap out the Konglomerat HQ, and We need tons more money just poured into this front to really get that decisive winning advantage to stop him from ever turning it around. But I think we're getting there without really trying that heavily. I think we are. I think we're getting there. God, I could still go over here. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. A breakthrough at Cheng Chao, that'll be more worth it. Something to narrow these fronts considerably. If he loses Cheng Chao, this whole area becomes a narrow front, the whole thing. And that's what these arty. That's why I bought them. That's what they're for. I think that's everything that we're realistically going to be doing this turn. So let's go ahead and hit end turn. It's a really long turn, man. I got like 80 minutes of footage out of this. Hitler's deputy Rudolf Hess flies to the UK to negotiate peace terms, and it's a wreckage of a plane. Yeah. Germany gets advanced tanks level 2, baby. Woo! And production tech looks like it's finishing as well. Oh my god. I'm putting like 1 tech in per turn and finishing 2. It's insane. Germany doesn't have the money to keep up with this. None of us do, right? Japan is spying and intelligence level 1. That's good. Coming out with good MPPs as Germany. Yeah, okay. Japan still maintaining roughly the same amount. And same thing with Italy. 175 I ended with Italy. If we don't take any damage and we don't reinforce anything, that is a guaranteed tech research, if that's what we choose to do. However, that's all we have for this turn and for this episode, so we're gonna have to wait till Travis gets through this, and these turns are getting pretty long. Can't imagine what the front with America opens up. So, hope you guys are enjoying how this is going, how things are developing. I'm certainly enjoying how some things just aren't going to plan. It's making it pretty interesting. I'm getting more excited by the turn, but that's gonna be it for now, so thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.